exploring how CBS is reframing Special Agent Timothy McGee's backstory in NCIS Season 23, blending character evolution, franchise longevity, and narrative retconning into a fresh perspective on one of the show's most enduring agents. Spoiler-tinged but analytical, it dives into how McGee's journey is being rewritten, expanded, and in some ways reinvented for longtime fans and new viewers alike. CBS is rewriting Timothy McGee's NCIS history in Season 23. For more than 2 decades, NCIS has been one of network television's most reliable procedural dramas, a show that balances complex criminal investigations with deeply human character arcs. But in its 23rd season, CBS has taken an unexpected step. It's reshaping the backstory and ongoing legacy of an original cast member who has quietly become one of the franchise's emotional cores, Special Agent Timothy McGee. What once seemed like a straightforward probationary geek has been elevated, reframed, and in some ways reinvented as the show confronts decades of continuity and evolving audience expectations. Season 23 doesn't just feature McGee solving cases, it re-examines what his history means, how it connects to other characters, and what his role represents in a changing NCIS universe. From probie to storyteller, McGee's evolving identity. When McGee first appeared in Season 1, he was the quintessential computer-savvy newbie, nervous around Gibbs, stick-and-boots leadership, awkward in social situations, and quick with the tech but slower with confidence. Over years of episodes, he grew into a seasoned agent, bolder, calmer under pressure, and more integral to major cases. But NCIS Season 23 pushes the evolution even further by leaning into an aspect of McGee that fans always knew existed, but never fully explored on screen: his life outside NCIS. In ways few procedural dramas would risk, the series has elevated McGee's alter ego, his deep six crime thriller persona, from a footnote to a season-long theme. This move is more than a quirky subplot. It reframes McGee's inner world as a legitimate extension of his character history. McGee's pseudonym, Tom E. Gemcity, a clever anagram of his own name, has been worked into Season 23's narrative with surprising impact. In Episode 6, Page Turner, McGee's novels become both a literal plot device and a psychological mirror. Kidnapped while on a book tour, he's forced to confront his own creations, fictional agents who represent facets of his personality, effectively blending his past work, his creative imagination, and his professional identity in ways the show has never done before. Why this rewrite matters. Rewriting character history in a long-running show can be risky. Fans of NCIS are fiercely loyal and incredibly detail-oriented. Continuity matters when a series has aired hundreds of episodes over 2 decades. Yet CBS's decision to weave McGee's writing career into the main arc of Season 23 accomplishes several things. 1. It adds emotional depth. By positioning McGee's authorial alter ego as part of the season's central mystery, the show invites audiences to think of him not just as an agent, but as a voice. His novels, once a jokey semi-background detail, now reflect how he sees the world, how he processes fear, trust, leadership, and heroism. What McGee writes says as much about who he is as what he does in the field. Episodes like Gone Girls and Page Turner aren't just case files, they're explorations of the consequences of McGee's storytelling, how his fiction affects others, and how others react to his work. 2. It bridges McGee's past and present. Part of the beauty of this rewrite is that it doesn't ignore McGee's long history on the show, it reinvents it. Characters within his books have recognizable echoes of actual team members. In Page Turner, for example, McGee hallucinating his team as his own fictional counterparts isn't just a wild fantasy sequence, it's an emotional reckoning with his relationships, loyalties, and self-belief. From referencing Gibbs' old leadership style to injecting playful nods to earlier team dynamics, including throwbacks to classic character moments, the show connects McGee's fictional universe with his real one. This creative choice enriches not just his story, but the narrative tapestry of NCIS itself. 3. It reflects long-term growth without betraying continuity. Some long-running series fear change, continuity becomes sacred, sacrosanct. NCIS has never shied away from evolution, but Season 23 takes a more daring approach by rewriting parts of McGee's personal legacy without betraying his core character traits. Instead of erasing who he was, the show expands why he matters as an agent, as a storyteller, and as a human. This fresh approach helps deepen audience engagement. It honors decades of continuity while inviting reinterpretation, giving fans new ways to connect with McGee's journey and with the show itself. The creative narrative risks and rewards. Not every fan will love the idea of fracturing procedural realism with narrative whimsy. Some might view McGee's daydreaming with his own fictional characters as too meta. Others could wonder if the rewriting diminishes the serious nature of NCIS core crime solving. But in a television landscape where procedural dramas often struggle to stay fresh after hundreds of episodes, this kind of narrative risk can be a creative lifeline. By integrating McGee's writing career into plots that matter, plots that tangibly affect the team's work, NCIS sidesteps mere gimmickry. Instead, it invites viewers to consider the power of stories, how we tell them, how they shape us, and how they echo back into our real lives. Looking ahead, what this might mean for McGee's legacy. As season 23 continues, and upcoming episodes remain shrouded in spoiler warnings and anticipation, one thing is clear: McGee's revised history is more than a subplot. It's a thematic lens through which the show is examining ideas of identity, legacy, and creative expression. Will this shift change how the series concludes? Might McGee eventually take on a role that reflects both his investigative mastery and creative mind? Could the show even use this arc to set up his future beyond NCIS? Those questions are part of the ongoing intrigue. In any case, by rewriting McGee's journey in thoughtful, layered ways, CBS has given NCIS a fresh storytelling angle, one that honors the past while opening bold new narrative doors. For a show in its 23rd season, that's a creative accomplishment worth exploring.